Alright guys, I hope you can hear me right now because I finally got a real heater in the garage. I got one of those master things or whatever. Thanks, Santa. But today what we're working on is boost control. So the MR2 is making good boost, right? But it doesn't make it down low. So I went ahead and ordered a Turbo Smart manual boost controller. Seems to be the best one in the market. I know there's a couple other ones out there, but this seems to be the nicest one. It looks the nicest and had the best reviews. It's a pretty simple concept. Realistically, you can build one yourself if you want to. I've seen guys do it before, go to Lowe's and build it for under 10 bucks. I think this is like 65 bucks shipped to your door, so it looks nicer, it's anodized, it's just a nice feel to it, so I'm like, you know what, screw it. Let's just do this. And the best part about it is installing my car seems to be pretty straightforward. So if you guys can see here on the front of this, you can see boost, plus and minus, and then at the bottom it says wastegate this way. So whatever way the wastegate is, you want to make sure that the hose goes in this side and the other side is for the turbo. Pretty simple design, guys. And then minus and plus, meaning you click it this way, it turns the boost up, you turn it the other way, it turns the boost down. You're pretty much just manipulating the factory wastegate to do whatever you want for the most part. I set it to the lowest setting possible, and then I'm going to take the car out, test it, and then turn it up, you know, as I need to. Get it to around 17 PSI. And the best part about this is in first gear, I'll have full boost now, and the car won't linearly, you know, build boost now. Let me explain that too. What I mean by that is the car will build boost, but it'll build to like 12 and then gradually build up to it. With this, at like 3,000 RPMs, it'll build full boost, take off much harder. It won't be as laggy, etc. Like, it'll just be a better car all around. It will give me a much more quicker feel. It'll feel a little bit more snappier, which is exactly what I want from the car. So I'm going to show you guys where you need to cut and where you need to be getting this detail of how to put it all together. All right, guys. So I'm over here. I've got my little dandy setup here, and it is nice to have some proper Milwaukee tools. These little ratchets, fucking phenomenal. But on other cars, like, this is a real pain in the dick. On a MR2, this isn't bad. Here's your turbo inlet, and here's your wastegate. It's literally, well, I took the tube off already, so let me show you here. Look how short this is. That's it. That's the entire line. It's so short. So making this is gonna be stupid easy. I'm just gonna literally cut this right here in the center, cut a little bit of material out, put the boost control right in the center, and let her rip. Like, that's it. Like, stupid easy. So yeah, gonna go ahead and do that and put this back together and see how she does. All right, guys, so we got Sean here. Look what Sean's wearing, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Now, Sean, what's on the back of your shirt, sir? Can I go? Look at that, guys. If you want to, link down below. Pure Function merch. It's the coolest. You know you want some. I already got the boost controller on. If you can see where it's positioned there, just that little guy right there. And it's just resting against that pipe there, but it fits down there perfectly. I just want to make sure it's not pinching anything. It looks to be good. I use some zip ties to hold it together, but I don't care if it gets dinged up or scratched by that. I know it's a nice black piece, but I wanted it more hidden than anything. I just didn't want it to be seen. So I think this is going to work perfectly. So the only thing I need to do next is take it for a drive. I have it on the lowest setting right now, and then I'm going to spin it forward every time I need to turn it up. And we're going to take it for a quick test drive here and see how it goes. Well, guys, I kind of have to make like a short interruption for this video because it started raining outside again. So I can't really go take the car for a test drive like I wanted to. But until we get that done, I actually got something else in the mail for the Supra here. So I already got that cup holder, but Auto Extrude's some new updated version of it. He made some tweaks to it here. So let me show you guys this here real quick. There's two parts to it now. So this is the new bottom part of it. He actually made in a little adapter piece, as you can see here. It has it adapted out so it can actually have light in the cup. So when you go to put your drink in, it's lit up. Obviously you have a cap on it so it won't show up all the time. And he made me this little insert, like so. What this does is it actually makes my Red Bulls nice and tight in there. So if I can go grab a Red Bull, I'm not sure what size it fits though. Because baby, I don't think it fits the baby ones. Maybe it does. I think maybe that's what it's for. Oh, that's perfect. Oh yeah. Sweet, so that won't slide it all around now. I like that. Perfect little design. Oh, I like this. This is freaking awesome. So what I'm gonna do is, guys, I'm gonna throw this in the car here. I'm gonna show you how to take this out. A lot of people tend to break these things, and you just need to be careful. There's another thing I need to fix. Pedal fell off. I ordered two new sets, just because my MR2 ones are wearing out too, and they're both the same for both cars. You can see there, the rubber ripped. So I have to replace that. Anywho, for this, I always pull up the e-brake, pull this out here, and then I always spin off the shift knob first, Now, I think anyone that has half a brain would do this also, I would like to think, but you never know. Then I always pop this out. Now, usually this would be for you guys, since I already have the cup holder. With this for you guys would be your ashtray. So I pull that up, and then I always pop up on the back first. So you just pull up slightly and just hear one click. So this will pop up. There's one little clip right here. Then you want to pull up on this. So we're going to loosen up this up here. You want to pull up on this a little bit. And it pops out as one piece. If you don't pop the back first, it tends to want to snap and break the plastic piece right here where it's the thinnest, or down over here. And you don't want that happening. One other thing I wanted to show you guys too is this is a two-part system. So the top piece here I won't be removing, but the bottom piece here, the cup itself, I will be. Now again, if you'll see here, this will actually go in the back. The little hole here for the back, this is where the light goes in, and this will just all line up then. But has it little bolts here. They're hex screw bolts that I need to get out, and then once that pops off, I can then bolt this one in. He uses nice stainless steel bolts, and this isn't just bolting into the plastic. He actually uses rib nuts in there, so these aren't going to strip out over time or anything like that, which I really, really do like that about it. So go ahead and put this in here. I think it goes this way in, I believe. I have to get in the car and see where the wiring is at first. All right, guys, so I went ahead and reinstalled it there. I showed you how easy it was. So I plugged the light back in. You pop the top off, and now first off, I have my little adapter in there for a Red Bull. So you sit that down in, and now can't move back and forth or anything. Now if I take it out, obviously, set that there. Still pretty darn good, to be honest. He did it for me as like a little favor or whatever, but it's pretty freaking cool. The next thing is, though, is this. He even gave me an LED with this, which I need to mention. So you can see now, your cup holder lights up. So, just like a newer car, you put your drink in there and you know where it's at, it's all lit up. I don't know, I think that's pretty neat that he actually thought of that. So that's the second revision of it, guys. This is a Type 2, I guess we'll call it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Well, now that it finally decided to dry up outside here in Pennsylvania, done with this, let's take the MR2 for a drive. Sorry I had to cut off there, guys. It's just the weather here sucks. I'm trying to make it work. Again, we're gonna take this out here, see if this boost controller works the way it should. Close that down and try to get some enjoyment out of this car. Been driving the Supra a lot here. I love both of these cars though. I really wanted to sell this car, but the more I drive it, the more I want to keep it. It's just becoming more and more fun. The only thing that sucks is, guys, I still don't have the backlight. I'm still waiting from Speed Hut, the adapter to make the back of the lighting light up. This will be a white gauge with obviously a red needle, just like factory, but go ahead and start this up. Cold start. Takes a second for the air-fuel ratio gauge to start working. It ticks back and forth randomly at first. It just goes like that. And then once it warms up, it starts working. Now again, I've had people say, isn't that going to get annoying? And probably over time it will. I might switch it out to a true digital readout. I went with this because I wanted the nostalgic look, but realistically looking at it now, it is much harder to read, and I do kind of like, you know, clear like 10.0, 11.0 to 11.5, 12, etc. But I do like the needle for the boost gauge. I just think it looks a lot better. And I think once again, once these are both backlit to match the back, I think I'll be a lot happier with it. But let's back the car out here, guys, see how it works. One thing we have to do is we have to let the car warm up first. The one thing I've noticed is, and even with the boost control and stuff, it doesn't override this, where maybe it does to a point, but the car just doesn't act right. And the car tends to run lean. So let me explain this too. Gotta get my seatbelt on here first. So what do I mean by running lean as I put this up so you guys can hear me a little better? So this is not just an MR2 thing, this is a Toyota thing from the 90s. The Supra had the same problem, but a lot of guys don't see it for the fact that we all went standalone. So the problem is, we have a lean, there's a lean sensation or a lean factor in these cars. If you put an air-fuel ratio gauge on them, before you have them tuned or do anything, you know, I'll go wide up throttle and make 10, 11, 12 PSI, and it'll be showing like 13.5, 14.0, and then it will dip real hard and run real rich and go down to like a 9.8, 10.0, and both the Supra and the MR2 both did this. Now, I'm still getting that hesitation because of that, and I'm noticing, I'm watching it like tremendously. As soon as it goes down and starts to give me a ton of fuel, hesitation goes away and drives strong. Now it's a lot better now that I fixed the ECU, the startup and trying to tip in and stuff, that issue's all gone. But like if I hammer on it, you can definitely still feel a hesitation, and that's definitely because there's not enough fuel there. I know that my Supra drives really well. When I tip into it, you can see the fuel go into it properly, and it makes a major difference. But let's try to get this thing warmed up here, and I'm going to show you how well it's holding boost. and how strong it comes on now versus what it was before. Now the best way to represent this is down low. With the factory ECU, guys, it didn't want to build full boost or give me good boost until around 4,500 to 5,000 RPM. Now I'm building close to 15 pounds of boost down low, which obviously creates more torque down low, creates more stress on everything, but it's a lot more fun to drive. So if I smash it, right there, it's 15 PSI right at like 3,200 RPMs. Before it was not doing that whatsoever. Just comes on so much stronger now. Feels a lot better. And it carries the whole way out through the RPM range too. So if I have to slow down here because, you know, Mexico laws, I don't want to break the Mexican laws here, but as you guys can see there, it would tip up to around 16, 17 PSI, and that's about the max you want to run on the MR2 with a factory ECU. Now, I did have a boo-boo or a dum-dum accident. I actually did let it spike up to like 20 PSI and I hit fuel cut. So the factory ECU did its thing, cut power before you blew up the motor, so that is a good thing. But I just set the boost controller too high. Now I've got it set, I've got it locked back there, and it's set to around 16, 17 PSI, which you guys saw. Realistically though, what the boost controller is doing is holding it at 16, 17 PSI faster. It was pretty much spiking to that before and holding well for me. Sorry, I gotta shift and drive. Ooh, that noise. Hear that? Hold on. Damn, that never gets old. It was spiking before, guys, and it would go to that, but it took so long. Like, at first I was like, I'm not gonna run a boost controller because it's not necessary. Now having one on it, first and second gear are way more fun. The car's not as laggy in those gears, and it really wants to take off hard. I'm really glad I did this. Big shout out to Lucas Lai. I think that's his last name. I only talked to him on Instagram, to being honest. He's the one that actually kind of inspired me originally to get like just a real aggressive look on my MR2, which I eventually sold those wheels because I didn't want to cut the fenders like he did. But shout out to him for saying like, look dude, just do it. I know you're building this boost, but first and second gear will be a lot more fun. And he's right. It builds boost a lot harder, a lot more fun. Now he keeps telling me to like, I need to break boost in first gear and try that. First gear is so short in this, I'm not sure how he does it, because I feel like before I know it, I'm out of first gear and into second because it's so short. But yeah, guys, it worked, and I'm happy. Big shout out to you, Lucas. Thanks, buddy. So, guys, if anything, I hope this kind of wants you to, or makes you want to put a boost controller in MR2. Probably, I would say 90% of you guys are already doing it. I just think that's a normal adage. Like I said, again, I got this Turbo Smart boost controller for like 65 or 70 bucks. I can't remember exactly. And in my opinion, it's the best bang for the buck. I know that Rouzerville makes a very nice one also. The problem is you have to mount it up and out of the way. And it is cheaper. I think his is only 50 bucks, but I just don't like the way or how it mounts or how the way it comes down. You can't hide it as nicely. I like the fact that you can get this in blue, black, whatever, so it looks very hidden. And I also like the fact the turning knob on it has a locking feature. Like I said before, you can actually lock this top knob. And I want to make sure it's clear, this is not a sponsored ad. I'm just really that happy with this product. Something so simple, but has this little things thought out about it that makes it worth it. The fact that once you lock it and no one can go down there and try to mess with it is what I like. My buddy Sean, who had his GSX, he had an old school Turbo, not Turbo Smart, Turbo XS. Very nice and very high quality piece. Also, problem is it doesn't have that lock, and that's why he was having so many issues. He was over boosting like crazy. He was running like 22, 23 PSI to that little baby T25 turbo, whatever they come stock with. And I think the max they're allowed to run is like 14, 15 PSI. So yeah, that little baby boy is getting overworked bad. So I definitely don't recommend doing that if you don't have to. It is nice getting this. All right, guys, it's getting dark out here, and on that note, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. There is a build series coming for this. I know it takes me forever to get to them. It comes down to money. So if you guys can, the way it helps me out is, a big favor is, 1, give this a like. If you can, also give it a comment. And number 3, subscribe. If you like the content, please stay around for some more. And also, the last and biggest thing, buy some merch. I got shirts, I got hats, I got all sorts of cool stuff in stock. Thank you guys very much, and I'll talk to you later. Peace!